Hello everyone, welcome to Crazy Craft Obsessions YouTube channel. My name is Cassandra and welcome if you haven't been here before. We really appreciate everyone's support, so don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps us so much. Today I'm going to be using the new Simple Stories Fun Times collection. This one here I absolutely knew I needed in my stash as soon as I saw it because it's bright, it's colourful, it's got a carnival theme. It's everything you could want in a scrapbooking collection. I simply adore it. What I done was take that sunburst pattern paper and cut out 5 strips from it. And I'm pairing them with some old to new ink pads. I didn't have an orange, so I had to use the Simon Hurley Stella ink pad, which is my second choice ink pad at the moment. And the colours that I've used here are Fresh Lemon, Guppy, Crimson, Pinkalicious, and Mountain Mist. Now everything that I use will be linked in the description box down below, as well as on the blog post, which is linked in the description box, so I really highly recommend that you check them out. Also support your local scrapbook store. Whatever country you're from, we support Australia and New Zealand, but of course if you're from another country, I'm sure there's a scrapbook store that you love and they will carry the same stock. If they don't, reach out to them and make sure you communicate that, because sometimes it's hard to know what people want as a store owner, and that communication is really valued. What am I doing in this scrapbook layout today? I'm going for a classic layout of mine. I always do this when I start a new collection because I get, I don't know, what can we call it, new collection anxiety. Where I scrap my stash of layouts to see a design that I simply loved before and I copy that layout. This is a simple, tried and true way of getting rid of that anxiety, and a fun layout of mine is the sunburst one. So I have marked on my piece of paper where each colour is going to go. I've put them in colour order, so yellow, orange, red, pink and blue. And I am using my soft bristle blending brushes, that's hard to say, to put some ink down on my page to create a halo effect where those sunburst pieces of pattern paper are going to go. I love this technique of ink blending. If you're not keen to get your hands too messy but you want a little bit of mixed media on your page, this is the process for you. I've got more coming out on that soon. It's one of my tried and true ways of getting mixed media on the page if you're in a rush or if you're at a retreat and you can't get too messy. Card makers use it all the time, and you can see a lot of crossover now from the card making industry into the scrapbooking industry, which is really fun. Why not take tips and tricks from each other and support each other throughout our crafting processes? Now that I've got that colour down on my page, I'm going to add my strips of paper back in. I have trimmed them down so that they finish just behind my photos and they don't peek out the other side, just to add that layering and tucking effect. I'm going to take my Tim Holtz edge distresser and distress each of the edges of those strips as well. So when I was cutting them out, I weren't overly fussed over if there's white pattern paper still left on it or if the edges were straight, because I knew they were going to get distressed. I never cut anything straight, guys. You know, everyone's very caught up on getting things absolutely perfect, and it's an unperfect world out there. It takes up a lot of time to get stuff absolutely perfect. So the motto that I love to live by is, life is too short to be straight. It just is, and it's made my crafting so much more relaxing. I do crafting for my mental health, which a lot of people do, and having that need for perfection really was impacting my want and need to craft, especially being someone on social media who has a craft store and likes to inspire other people. People kind of have that expectation of you to be perfect, and I'm here to knock it out of the park with a wrecking ball and go, no one needs to be perfect, you just need to be yourself. You just need to craft the way that you want to craft. Don't let other people make you feel like you're less of a crafter or less of a person just because you're different. Everyone is different, and I think it's important for people to recognize that and take the different things that they want from different people. And sometimes being different is absolutely fantastic because you come up with new ideas. That's my little spool for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. You can see here I'm sticking these down with some double-sided tape because I haven't done gesso or texture paste or anything like that. I can use double-sided tape on this layout and it will work just fine. I have covered over my photo. You'll see that a lot in my videos recently. I've got a little boy and we do actually have another little boy on the way. I am currently pregnant with him. But just to protect their privacy, I'm going to cover over their faces, and I do apologize for that. My partner and I are present in the business all the time, so we're not going to worry about us. But just the use of AI at the moment is a little bit concerning, so we're covering over their faces just to protect them. I matted my 3x4 photos just on some beautiful spotty cardstock that came from the collection, and now I'm picking out my title. I tend to go for these foam titles from Simple Stories. They are a love of mine, and the Fun and Games one here I really loved. This is My Little Boy at Time Zone, which if you're not from Australia is like an arcade game style place, really popular here in Australia, and you pay your money and you get to play in all the different arcade games. This was the first time that we took him and he had an absolute blast. I'm helping him play a piano game here, so you can see the keys lighting up in the photos. The photos were really, really colourful. I think you can get that even though they're covered over a little bit. So I had to do a multicoloured layout, or I had to black and white my photos. They were my two options because they were going to clash. So I went for a rainbow layout instead of covering over my photos in black and white. And what else can I say? Because it's a rainbow layout, I'm going to keep the embellishing quite minimal in a tone-on-tone fashion. The only thing that's not tone-on-tone is my title, and by doing that it makes my title stand out more. I've gone ahead through the journaling pieces and the ephemera packs and picked out these, I don't know what you'd call them, banners, signs, I don't know, like sayings, I don't know what you'd call them. They're fun embellishments that point towards my photos, I guess. I made sure they all point towards my photos as to not draw attention away from my photos. And I've got one for each colour. I've also made sure okay, hold on a second, we're going on a tangent. I absolutely love these little balloon animals. There's two in the collection. They're pink and like a tealy blue, and they can face towards each other or away from each other, and I love that design aspect. I think that's adorable, and they're going to make it onto another layout, just not this one. But I just had to pause and say how cute they are. So getting back to the design elements of the layout, I made sure that each of these little ephemera pieces that I've put on my layout are displaced, so one's not behind the other or directly underneath the other. They're all in different aspects of the layout. They all point towards my photos except for that red one. It's nice and close to my photos, so it draws attention to the photos in that way. And then to make them fit into the layout a little bit more and not attract so much attention, because it is a rainbow layout, I'm taking the white trim off each of them, the white border. So Simple Stories, Echo Park, quite a few different companies print these embellishments with a white border. I think the only one I know of that doesn't do that is 49 Market. These particular ones were quite easy to fussy cut off. I'm just using my Tim Holtz, what are they called? My special Tim Holtz scissors. I don't know the name of them, but they're the spring-loaded ones, so they pop back open, and I'll leave a link to them down below. But they're really ergonomic for your hand, super easy to fussy cut with, and I like them a little bit better than the tiny snips, just because they do spring open a little bit more, so I tend to get less hand cramping with them when I'm doing a lot of fussy cutting. You can see here how easy it is to take that white border off these particular elements. If it was too difficult, I would have just left it, guys. I guess I'm a little bit of a lazy crafter when it comes to that. To me, the white border is not too much of a big deal. It just looks better for this layout without it. So whilst I'm doing that, I want to take some time to talk about this new collection. It is available in our shop. I love the bright colours of it, and coming into autumn and Christmas, there's not a lot of bright colours coming out in collections at the moment. There is that focus. America's coming into autumn. We're coming into spring here in Australia. So we kind of crave those bright colours, but we don't necessarily get them all the time aligned with America. So when I saw this, I had to jump on it. I just had to. There was no doubt about it. What else can I say about it? I got very minimal of it. I got the foam stickers, the 2 ephemera packs, the 1 paper pack, and possibly the decorative brads. Not too sure about that. Or maybe the enamel dots. But I chose to go minimal with it so that I can purchase other collections as they come out, because I really have my eye on the Echo Park Bookish collection. I just fell in love with that as soon as I saw it, and it's coming out soon, so I needed to save my dollars. And that's a trend that we're seeing here in the scrapbook industry and card making industry at the moment. Is the cost of living is quite high, so people are cutting back on how much they're spending, and that's perfectly fine. I've got some layouts using Stash coming up to inspire you on different techniques that you can use, so that if you are in that category of not being able to afford scrapbooking supplies, you can still support us through watching YouTube videos and supporting our Facebook and Instagram channels. What am I doing now? Oh my god, I'm going cray with sequins. This is a trend of mine that I'm going through right now. And I've just shot my stash. I've got a little container full of bling. It's got like the pink fresh jewels and different sequins. These ones here are Simon Says stamp sequins. And I've just shot them for coordinating sequins in the colours. And I literally just take my glue. I absolutely love this Barely Art glue, and we have got it in stock at the moment. And I just bop glue in random places in the color that it coordinates with, and go ahead and stick down all this bling. And I love the effect that it does. Let me know down below if you've got bling and sequins and stuff lingering in your stash, but you never reach for them. I tend to go through phases where I reach for them all the time, and then I go through phases where I don't reach for them at all. But let me know down below, which phase are you in right now? Do you reach for the bling or do you not reach for the bling? Because we want to know. We want to know the trends that everyone's going through. We want to start discussions about craft because we love craft. And we really want to have those discussions and make friendships around craft and have great relationships with you guys. So commenting down below and starting those discussions are so important to us. You can see here I'm just doing a tone on tone effect for those different sequins. And that's pretty much going to end my layout. I think I do come back in with a pen maybe and draw some lines, but I might have cut that out of the camera. You'll see it in the still shots. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you next time.